Have you thought about differences in houses and not just this house is bigger, this house is another floor, and this house has an elevator? But what about how houses look across different cultures? That's what we are going to learn today. How Asian homes compare with European. Materials are a big part of a house and can be greatly influenced by culture. For example, Chinese houses use natural materials. They should be strong and artistic. What can qualify both those terms? But you may ask, why not stone? Stone is strong and it can look nice. Stone is also fireproof. Stone seems cold to the Chinese. You use it when someone dies. It doesn't seem lively, while wood, on the other hand, seems very alive and warm. The Japanese materials are very similar to the Chinese ones. After all, there's only a couple of options. Japanese try to use minimalist materials and connect to nature. They try not to use any nails because they want to respect the wood. The nails are not natural. Europeans think differently with materials for their houses. French houses, for instance, use stone because it withstands time and tests. They also use brick and concrete. In Europe, many homes also use stone. They used it because wood was too flammable. Later, they used steel as framing. Wow, I never knew that culture is a big part of the choice in materials. You might be thinking that the walls and the roof styles of homes relate to materials, and they do, but there is more to think about. Let's take a better look at Asian houses. For example, Japanese roofs are thatched or tiled, and the walls are never painted to show respect and appreciation to the wood. They have sliding walls made from light wood or paper. The paper and light wood allow light to go through so they can connect with nature. Next up, let's look at some European homes. European houses have rigid tile roofs, so wood is an option. In Norway, the roofs are sloped because there are lots of snow, and the sloped roof helps the snow slide off. French houses have shingles to cover up the ugly materials. The shingles can be made of wood, slate, or rough cast and cover all the walls on the outside. Clearly, you can now see the difference the culture makes in walls and roofs. A Chinese building should be facing toward the south, so you can catch the morning sun right out in the front yard. The morning sun is the most important. It gives you the positive energy for the day to come. Another thing is not to have a staircase facing directly to the front door. Then all the good things can run straight out the door. My interviewee, Mr. James Huang, says that there also should not be a road facing directly toward your house. In a Japanese house, the rooms are placed off a central main room. Larger or smaller rooms are made by adding or removing sliding paper doors. The only rooms with specific uses are the kitchen, the entry, the bathroom, and the toilet room. In a Greek house, the rooms are arranged around a central courtyard, so the courtyard provides light. The first floor would include a kitchen, a storage room, a toilet, an andron, and sometimes animal pets. Houses are not usually attached to shops or workshops. The main room in a Greek house is the andron room, for drinking. Usually I call the outside features add-ons. The outside features are porches, gardens, and etc. Mr. James Huang, my interviewee, says that Chinese gardens have structures like pavilions or walls to block your view. So every step you take, you see a new area of the garden, and you don't just finish looking at everything just at once. One of the structures is a wall with a moon gate. An example is the Blue Wave Pavilion. Japanese have gardens so you can capture nature in your own yard. On the other hand, European gardens are large and grand. The flowers and bushes are very neat, in nice rows or patterns. You can see everything at once, which is the opposite of Chinese gardens in the end. I think there's a big difference in gardens, maybe even more than some other categories. In conclusion, there are huge differences across cultures in how houses are built and designed. The Japanese houses are designed to be with nature. They don't paint the wood and have paper or light wood screens. so natural light can come through. On the other hand, European houses have stone, brick, or concrete walls, which are less natural. I have learned that the European house styles are more scattered because of the temperature and weather differences. Norway's roofs are slanted because of the amount of snow they have there, and that European cultures like to use stone a lot. Maybe you can think about how other cultures affect the architecture in America.